for intercultural studies. Okay, good. And well, how did it work? It's an initiative of the Gülen Chair for Intercultural Studies, and the other has the sponsor. So if someone here receives the money afterwards, that's due to the sponsor. That's IDP, Intercultural Dialogue Platform. It's not due to my money. So, how did it work? Well, we wanted to stimulate interests in intercultural studies already at the level of master thesis. Okay? And we saw it as an interfaculty initiative. And since we wanted to be very objective, I didn't put myself in the jury. So, and no one of the people concerned really by the Gülen Chair of Intercultural Studies were part of the jury. Huh? So we first mobilized some colleagues from different faculties, Professor Patain, Professor Casey, Professor Daniels, all non-social scientists, to compose the first redactional committee. And then, since these people wanted to be very objective, they invited other ones to read the master thesis that were submitted. And this was Professor Schallenberg, Professor Philip Hermans, and Dr. Gudrun Justmans from HIVA. The condition was that from different faculties, students who got a great distinction. This was the acceptance condition. And who found that their thesis was competitive, or competitive enough, and the supervisor had the same ID, they could submit before the 1st of November or something like that, their master thesis, and then the 3 professors read this thesis. And the only thing I remember, that comment that I received was from Professor Herman, who said to me, I asked him, did you read them? He said, well, it's very difficult. He said, it's very difficult because we don't know who to choose. And I said, yeah, of course they are. They have all their distinctions. So it's a bit hard to decide then. But they decided. And Professor Schallenberg afterwards will explain why they choose your thesis. I have to say I was a bit happy for 2 reasons. The first reason, I think, I'm not sure that the Dean of our faculty will agree with that. I was happy that it was not a thesis of social sciences. I hope the second one will be of social sciences, but that the first one was not coming from social sciences means that the procedures are respected. You see, that it's surely not of first interest to have someone from another faculty to have the best master thesis in intercultural studies. And the second reason that I'm quite happy, and there I think IDP will agree also, is not about Muslims. It's not about Muslims, it is about Sikh migrants and about the women's perspective among Sikh migrants. But you will explain that later. And somewhere I was happy because that's also the objective of the chair, I think. That's to study really, to do intercultural research, but in a very open-minded, in a very open, scientifically objective way. Open for the whole of society and not only looking always at Islam and other things. But they will explain that when you will hear the content of it. Now, thanks to all the people who invested their time in it, and I hope I can ask you also next year, because next year we will have the 2nd edition done, and again, you see, it's after all, it's a nice reward, you know. If I should be a student, I think I should also apply if I have a great distinction. Now, some information still about the chair, and I will not take too much of your time. It's very simple. If you want to look what we are doing, you go to the site of the Faculty of Social Sciences, You go to social sciences, then you take IMRC, then you look, Gülen Chair for Intercultural Studies, and then you have every 6 months a report. What we are doing, what are our activities. I can say for the second semester, we will have a very, I see it myself with the student, a very interesting lecture series on current issues in Islam. We did really an effort. The people who come are really competent in this whole series of lectures. It's all based on guest speakers. And the day after, there is always a doctoral seminar guided, supervised by the same guest speaker who speaks the evening before. But there are leaflets and that you can see what it is about. In the meantime, we also started already 2 doctoral researches. One on Turkish entrepreneurship. Turks are entrepreneurs, Turkish entrepreneurship, and another one on the migrant subject. And we have a 3rd doctoral research in mind for the started up in the coming months. What else do we have to say? Not much. Again, I want to thank exclusively, since we are here, at least 2 other people. That's Professor Patel, because if we are here, that's because there's Metaforum, and you are coordinator of Metaforum, and he kindly offered immediately, because he doesn't only participate in our coordination, so that he kindly offered also this very nice place for this evening. And a second person I want exclusively to thank the Dean of our faculty, Professor Marley, because I feel and I see very completely that she does an effort really to integrate the chair in the whole of the faculty. It is to make it something that is not somewhere an isolated thing, somewhere in a corner there, but she tries really to integrate it in the faculty. And from our side, we surely will also try to support this effort to make it something that is not only anthropological over the years, but that is more social sciences in general, and maybe also into faculty. That's an effort we will do. For example, to give you an example, for not for this lecture series, but for the next lecture series, we also, professors as Professor Mullins are reflecting on how to fit it in. Also you, Professor Schallenberg, because we try to make it really something also inter-faculty. Okay, good. I do think, because that's always the thing where you have to take care for. If you give an introduction, not to get something. I don't think I get something. Just let us enjoy now the presentation. First we will listen to the comment. Then you will give some info about your thesis. Then we will give you the check. Such a thing. I want to congratulate your parents, also your mother and your family. And I wish you, from my side, very good luck also in your future career. Then afterwards, Mr. Pekshas will also say something, speaking for the sponsor, let us say, for he mediates. It's not his money either, but he mediated for sponsorship. And I think that is it. And then we go ground floor for the reception. There is some drink and some, yeah, we can change some of these. Okay. Thank you.